So initially, I wasn't expecting to make a video like this. Not saying that I didn't want to make this video like the usual YouTubers would say, because I wasn't genuinely expecting anything like this to be leaked. Of course, as you can probably gather by the title, I'm referring to the recent leaks by Milo Yiannopoulos about Richard Spencer. You know Richard Spencer, CNN's contributor Richard Spencer, the famous alt-right personality, the spokesman for the alt-right, the man who got punched in the face by Antifa. That guy, yeah. Milo Yiannopoulos, for some strange reason, out of the blue, out of all times, this time, way past Richard Spencer's relevancy and time in the limelight, released this footage, or rather this audio of him having a rather angry rant. Allegedly this was after Heather Heyer got killed and the whole Unite the Right march basically dissipated, and what momentum the alt-right had quickly disappeared after that. So let's just play the clip and I will offer you guys my analysis, because that's what you're here for, right?
We're coming back here like a fucking 100 times. I am so mad. I am so fucking mad at these people. They don't do this to fucking me. We're gonna fucking ritualistically humiliate them. I am coming back here every fucking weekend if I have to. Like, this is never over. I win, they fucking lose. That's how the world fucking works. Little fucking kikes. They get ruled by people like me. Little fucking octoroons. My ancestors fucking enslaved those pieces of fucking shit.
We're gonna win.
I rule the fucking world. Those pieces of shit get ruled by people like me. They look up and see a face like mine looking down at them. That's how the fucking world works. We are gonna destroy this fucking town.
Well, firstly, all I have to say is, wow, that is pathetic. I've had my own outbursts in public, as you all are aware of. They're not very good. They don't reflect well on a person, do they? They really don't. But this was a very particular, pathetic example of one. This is a man who is very well aware of just how powerless he actually is and how over his movement is. This is a guy shouting into the void. An old man yells at a cloud because there's nothing he can do to fix the situation, to improve the situation, nothing at all. This is a defeated man. Now, obviously, since then, he's calmed down and has tried to pretend that everything is all well and good here and nothing's wrong. It's just, charismatic, calm Richard Spencer doing his thing, right? Well, we've kind of seen a glimpse of the real person in there. An angry man, a pathetic man, a man who thinks he's entitled to rule the world. But of course, it's not just him that he's referring to. He's referring to his tribe, his race, the Volk. Like feminists, like black nationalists, he sees all white Europeans as essentially like him. He represents them and they represent him, and this collectivism informs this angry rant. This is why he refers to us, this is why he's talking about, oh, we rule these people, we used to rule this land, we used to enslave these people and things like that. He's speaking on a racial, tribal basis. And this is the pitfalls of collectivism. It creates some kind of expectation, some kind of entitlement that your race, and by extension you yourself, deserve some kind of place in the world. And to him, the place of the white European is at the top and everybody else is at the bottom. But of course, in human history and things like that, tribes, groups, it doesn't even matter if it's race or nationality or anything like that. Nobody remains at the top forever. Empires rise and fall, peoples rise and fall. It's hubris, it's arrogance. What more can I say? But what is interesting is that when he refers to the Jews and also to octoroons, does he mean black people? Because as far as I know, this is something that I've only really seen referred to. A quadroon is somebody who's a quarter, whatever. There's no such word for half, apparently. There's no half rune. So an octoroon must be a person who's 1/8. And I'll get into the language he uses in just a little moment. But this little line that he says is very interesting because it kind of defeats the point of the worldwide Zionist conspiracy. So he's essentially put paid to all of that. The whole Jews, they run Hollywood, they run the media, they run this, they run that, keeping the white man down. And that kind of just shows that actually it's all a load of rubbish. And actually it's the white man who does it, or should do it, I guess, like they used to back in the day. So he's admitted that in the 20th century and in the 19th and way before that, it was the white Europeans that ruled over the Jews. It's very interesting that in this rant he destroys a lot of the foundational myths of his ideology, which is fascinating. And then the language that he uses. No normal human being talks like this. No human being interacts with other people like this and refers to other human beings like that. Again, not necessarily in public or even really behind closed doors. I mean, octoroon, who uses that word? I don't think even people way back in the 19th to 16th centuries really use that word much. It's such an archaic word that it's an archaic word that I've not seen used by very many old writers. This is something that is very much of the alt-right. They speak in a very old-timey, archaic fashion because I guess they're trying to relive some golden age in their head, and maybe it's a meme. They like to refer to people they don't like in these meme-ish fashions, but it just comes across as cringy and out of touch because no normal person would vote for a person like that who speaks like that. They're not even speaking like the silent generation or the greatest generation. They're speaking like people from medieval times. How is that meant to appeal to white people of today? It's just, how? I don't think this is going to do anything to Richard Spencer other than to make more people laugh at him. I mean, what? It's just confirmed what we already thought about him, that he's insecure and that all his bravado and his belief that he's going to run everything come the revolution of, the white nationalists is a load of horse shit, and that he's not going to do that, and he knows that. It's just a put on. He's already been a laughing stock for years. His time in the light is over, and really it's not even a nail in the coffin. It's sort of flogging a dead horse at this point. So I don't really know why Milo released this now when he could have released it maybe at the time, or maybe he already just found this and decided to release it anyway. But whatever, the alt-right are dead. They have not really had any relevancy for at least a year or two now, and regardless of what happened between Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, and Nick Fuentes and his fans, there is no rising of the alt-right again. That's something I think that's completely different and separate to all of this, and I think ultimately, it's just a reminder of how fast politics has moved on in many ways. So anyway, I think I'll end it there. There's really nothing to say about this other than, yeah, Richard Spencer, he's an idiot.